Does your tank gameplay usually look like this? Do you get vote kicked for trying to play the game? Fear not, as today I'm here to teach you everything you need to know to play the tank properly in L4D2 2. The tank is one of the 7 playable special infected, having an astounding 6,000 health. Don't allow that to fool you, as with 4 survivors constantly shooting, the tank can die incredibly fast as you saw before. He has no head, so headshots will not increase the damage of weapons. When playing as a tank, you will have a rage bar that forces you to keep its line of sight with survivors or risk losing control of the tank. This is done so that the tank can't just sit away from the survivors for prolonged periods of time. If a tank deals damage to a survivor either from a punch or a rock, its rage meter will reset back to 100%. If this bar reaches 0 for the first time, it will pass the tank to another player. If it is the second instance of this happening, the tank will then be handed to AI. A good tank player will waste as much time as they can for the survivors, allowing the special infected to whittle them down. The survivors can prevent this by staying out of your line of sight, also known as LOSing or lossing in some cases. Also, if they have a Molotov, their main priority will be to hit you with it, as once you are on fire, a tank will die in 75 seconds. Although if you are lit on fire, the rage bar is then removed. Keep in mind, sometimes keeping a tank alive with little to no health can be the difference between winning or losing a game, especially in a finale where the points do not progress if the tank is alive. For example, take a look at this clip. The tank has 2 attacks, a punch that will stun survivors for around 1 second and fling them back, which can easily send survivors off cliffs and can easily corner them or they will struggle with escaping from you. The punch deals 24 points of damage and it takes 5 punches to down a survivor with more than 95 health. Keep in mind this punch will allow you to move certain objects on the map such as cars, logs, dumpsters, forklifts. These objects, also known as toys, can instantly incapacitate the survivor, and once incapacitated can deal thousands of damage, allowing for an easy kill, a winning round. His secondary ability is the rock. The tank enters an animation of around 2.5 seconds where it picks up a rock and throws it. The benefits of this ability is that it can be used to attack from a range and is a safe way of regenerating your rage bar. This attack deals 24 points of damage and stuns the survivor for 1 second. There are 3 ways to throw a rock, each having their own purpose. Overhead with 2 hands. This type is incredibly useful when trying to throw a rock while behind cover, sorta like a head glitch. Keep in mind, you cannot curve these kinds of rocks. Overhead with 1 hand. This is the rock of all trades. It's useful for head glitching behind a car, and it can also be easily curved from both sides. Underhand. Incredibly useful for curving or throwing it on top of someone after they have been pinned by a special infected.
Son of a gun, it's hard for me to believe this is the 20th series, but it is, and I'd like to thank you very much for inviting me back for another series of paintings.
Rocks are the tank's greatest assets besides patience. A good tank will prolong a fight for extended periods of time, waiting for the right time to attack. A good general idea when to enter is, if a survivor is incapacitated in an enclosed area, if the enemy team is 2 or 3 boomed or they trigger an alarm, and if you can cut them off so they don't reach a safer spot to play the tank in. Keep in mind these are not the only circumstances where going in as a tank will be good. The more you play and learn, you will understand when to enter. A good idea is to enter alone, corner one player, knock them, and then call to your special infected to enter with you, as then it will be a 4v3 and significantly increase the chances of you ending the round. Also, if your tank is doing this and they reach half of their health, which is shown by the health bar turning yellow, it might be a good idea to enter even if he has not knocked a survivor, as at that point, even if your tank manages to corner someone, he will die before getting that knock. Now moving on to the tank's techniques. Rock curving. Potentially the tank's strongest and most important technique, as it allows you to keep your rage and hurt the survivors without exposing yourself to damage. It is done by turning your camera backwards or behind you, and turning it back towards the area you want to throw the rock towards, right as the tank is about to let go of the rock. This can be done with the following rocks: overhead with one hand, and the underhand. Haymaker. It consists of the tank both pressing mouse 1 and mouse 2 at a similar time, causing the tank to punch and instantly pick up a rock, allowing you to deal 48 damage to one survivor, finish one off, and switch targets. Jump Haymaker. Essentially the same thing as a normal Haymaker, but adding a jump to those inputs. Allows you to do around corners or reach survivors above you and or make them easier to hit. Jump rocks. Pressing your jump keybind, throwing a rock at the same time will allow you to jump around corners with a rock already in the middle of it being picked up, allowing you to do this attack without taking too much damage. There are other techniques that the tank can do, but I will not be going over them as they can turn into bad habits for the player and are very beginner friendly. And that's about all you need to know to play the tank in an effective manner. Remember that just because you learn these things, they won't magically make you improve as a player. Continue playing and making mistakes, as that is how you will learn. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments and I will try my best to answer them. This is a passion project to improve my editing and recording skills, so please understand if this isn't the best quality. I just wanted to post some content to practice and improve, while also maybe helping the new influx of players due to the winter sale. I'll be doing a guide on how to effectively play against the tank as a survivor. If people are interested, just let me know below. Thank you for staying until the end, and
catching teardrops in my head, all across the endless sea.